Hi guys, Pam here from Salon Savvy. Thanks so much for joining me. Today I thought we might talk a little bit about no-shows, and the reason I've chosen this topic is because since I sold my last salon, which was approximately 12 years ago now, so many salon owners have told me that they're having massive problems with an increase in no-shows in their business. And of course, no-shows are costing you a lot of money. So I think that's something definitely we need to discuss and hopefully minimise. But before I do, one of my lovely members has, by the name of Sarah, hi Sarah, has asked me if I had any thoughts about doing her promotion for the month. Sarah, I think promotions are one of those things that need to be planned ahead, and I think you need to be very strategic about the promotions that you offer to your clients. If you're quite clear about where you want to grow your business, what direction you want to take it in, whether that be as a waxing business, a facial business, an IPL business, if you really feel that you know clearly what direction you want to take your business in, and hopefully that's a profitable direction, then you should be structuring your promotions so that you are putting these treatments in front of your clients regularly. And so I would suggest that you go through and maybe list out your top 12 services that you'd really like to be selling more of, that you'd like to be growing your business around, that are profitable to your business, and you develop value-add promotions to go with each of those services. And that way you've got your 12 months of monthly marketing to your clients sorted. Of course, you want to keep in mind the seasonal aspect of those services. You know, obviously some services are going to be more welcomed in summer, some in spring, some in winter, so forth like that. So you need to keep that in consideration, special times of the year, special things that are happening, Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, so forth and so on. But once you know what those top 12 services are that you want to really promote to your clients, it's just simply about adding some secondary services to that. Possibly if you want to create a really big promotion, you could have two primary services together with a few secondary services that come in basically as freebies, and that way you are never discounting those primary services, but you're adding real value to them for the clients for their promotions. And it's great if you can get your suppliers on board, gift with purchase. You know, when you come in and have this particular treatment, we're going to, you know, give you a 50 ml cleanser or a 50 ml hydration spray or something like that. You know, think outside the box so that you know what you can offer. But the secret to great promotions is planning in advance. So I would say to you, sit down, grab a cup of coffee, and you know, write it down for the next 12 months. Add in your primary services that you wish to promote to the clients. Think about what secondary services will go in beautifully with that, value add with those secondary services, and voila, you've got your next 12 months in-house promotion sorted and ready to go, and you don't have to worry about them for the rest of the year. Oh, of course you can tweak them if you want to down the track if something better comes up, but you know, it's a great weight off your shoulders to have that sorted. So today, let's get back to what I said we were going to talk about, which is, of course, no-shows in your salon. Now, when I had my last salon, we had an occasional no-show, and it frustrated the hell out of me. But some of my readers and followers are telling me they're getting no-shows daily, and really that is not the way you want to be running your business, because they are costing you money. You think about it, if you had just two $50 no-shows a week, then you're talking about $5,000 or more in lost revenue for a whole year. Well, I don't know about you, but I could do a lot with $5,000. So I would hate to be thinking that I've lost $5,000 through people just not turning up for their appointments. So we're going to look at two things today. We're going to look at why people don't turn up for their appointments, and we're going to look at what we can do about minimising that. So why? Okay, well, clients today are super busy. They are really, really busy, and to be honest, their beauty therapist or their hairstylist is actually not very high on their list of important things to do for most people. For some people it might be very high on their list, but for most people it's not a really super important thing on their list. They might have doctor's appointments, they might have kids at kindy, they might have sick partners, whatever. There's a lot of things that are going to take priority about over coming in for a leg wax and a lash tint. So what we have to do is we have to give them a reason to put us as therapists higher up on their list, and that's something that we can talk about in what we're going to do about it in a minute. Secondly, clients tend to no-show if they don't value you. I see some salon owners and some therapists making the fatal mistake of getting overly friendly with their clients. It's one thing to treat your client, with outstanding customer service, to treat them well, to remember things about them, but there's a point where you should not step over the line into being too friendly on a personal basis with your clients, because when you do that and people let you down, they don't feel like they're actually doing anything wrong. In their mind, it's like, well, Christy won't mind because, we're mates and she'll understand. I'll just ring her, tomorrow afternoon and I'll rebook, and it's not a big deal. Some clients have even been known to comment that they think they are doing you a favour because, oh, well, I was booked in for an hour, I didn't turn up, but look, you got to use that hour to have a cuppa, you probably got some lunch, you were able to pop out and buy something from the shops, and they actually see it that they're doing you a favour. They don't think they're doing anything wrong at all. And this is, of course, caused by poor education on the part of the salon owner. So, one, try and stop getting overly friendly with your clients to the point where they think that it's okay for them not to show up for their appointments. Two, make sure that you've got a good reminder system in place. I know these days with most computer systems you're able to do automated SMS reminders and things like that, which is fantastic. However, if you are just sending out a reminder that says, friendly reminder, you have a 2 p.m. appointment at Salon XYZ on the 25th. Right, that's really nice, but the client reads that and promptly forgets about it. What we need to do is we need to make sure that the client needs to respond to those reminders. So hopefully if you've got a computer system that allows for a yes/no response, then that is a huge plus. When the client physically has to go in and go, why, I'll definitely be there, it helps lock that information into their brain. They've had to take some action. So if you have the option of getting the client to respond yes or no to your appointment reminder, please use that facility because it really does help. And if you don't, then at least ask them in the reminder to call you if they aren't able to make it to your to that appointment, and you will find that that in itself will help to minimise the amount of no-shows that you're getting from your busy clients who are simply forgetting about appointments. The other reason why clients can tend to no-show is because you've inadvertently given the impression to your clients that you're not busy and you'll fit them in any time they want. And I see this happening so often. When therapists have even said to me, oh, it's okay, let us know when you want to come in, just give us a call and we'll probably fit you in, the next day, something like that. And I cringe because what message I'm receiving from that is that I don't have to rebook. It's okay. They're never busy. I can just kind of ring them up and they'll squeeze me in. Who cares? That appointment is not important because if I miss it, I'll just fit in some other time. They don't care. So if you don't care as a salon owner or a therapist, then the client's not going to care much either. So never ever give the impression to your clients that they can just make a phone call, pop in at the last minute. You want your clients to believe that your salon is so popular, such a great salon, that getting an appointment is actually a big deal. Okay, so that helps you also with your rebooking, but it really does help with the no-shows. Clients don't have it in their head, oh, if I don't turn up today, it doesn't matter because, I can easily get an appointment next week when it suits me better. So we want to change that mindset in our clients' thought pattern so that they are not just letting you down at the last minute. And you know yourself, you've got chronic people who do it all the time to you. They let you down. It's the same people over and over again. So what can we do about this? Well, let me tell you a little story. I tend to be a little bit forgetful, which is why I have a diary and I write everything down in the diary, and I put little reminders into my phone and things like that to remind me. So completely gone off track there, haven't I? No, this particular physiotherapist, when I went to visit them, and I don't necessarily recommend what they had done because it was tad unfriendly. They had a big sign on their reception counter that stated quite clearly that if I cancelled an appointment within 24 hours of the due time, or if I didn't turn up, that the cost of that appointment would automatically be added to my account and I would be billed for that at my next visit. So I went, oh, well, I don't want to pay $70 for something I didn't get. And it actually made me really think about keeping on top of my appointments at that physiotherapist. There was no way in a million years I was going to pay out for something I didn't get. And I wanted to keep going back because I was very happy with their service. So what they had done is they'd created a consequence of my actions. So that consequence was I was going to have to fork out money for something I didn't get. And let me tell you, that works. Having to pay for a missed service or a late cancellation, I think they charged a little less for the late cancellation, but even so, I didn't want to throw away hard-earned money. So what I'm going to say to you is, you need to have a consequence for no-shows and you need to be able to enforce that. And some people are really uncomfortable with that, and that's a shame because it's what you need to do. There needs to be a consequence to the action of the client not turning up for their appointment. I went to a salon for a little while that added a little no-show reminder to the bottom of their SMS, and it said something like, please note late cancellations or change of times, I think it was within 24 hours, would incur a $25 fee. Now, I talked to the salon owner about that because actually it had been my idea for her to do that, make a consequence. Prior to that, there'd been no consequence. She said it kind of stopped her no-shows almost overnight. It worked. I said, how many people have you charged the $25 fee to? She said, none. Okay, so there's a plus and a minus to that. Let me explain a little further. Because there was a consequence to a no-show or a late cancellation, clients were much more respectful of that, remembering to turn up on time or to give more notice for a change of appointment time. And things improved dramatically. Secondly, the other reason was that clients who had not no-showed, and she had a few of these, and they were persistent no-showers, okay? They're the ones that let you down every second time or 2 out of 3 times. You know what they're like. I'm sure you've had them in your salon as well. They just didn't come back. Yep, they no-showed. They got the reminder. They just didn't come back. And you might think, oh my goodness, I don't want to lose a client. I don't want to lose a client because I think they're going to have to pay me $25. But, you know, it was the best thing that happened to this salon because it was a busy salon and they'd been turning clients away for appointments, and they were then able to bring in a better quality client. And the salon owner told me, she said, oh, it's so much less stressful, Pam. You know, my revenue has gone up. I don't have to worry about clients not turning up for appointments. You know, I get stressed, and that stress kind of filters out to the rest of my staff. So that's not happening anymore, and it was a really positive step. But it took a little bit of courage for her to implement this consequence to her clients. And I think that, you know, you've got to have a little bit of confidence when it comes to taking a line. It's your business, and you know, if you don't make enough revenue in your business, you're the one who will go broke or can't pay yourself a wage or can't pay your rent. The clients really don't care about that terribly much. You've got to be responsible for that. You've got to take the actions that need to be taken to make sure that you're running a profitable business. So once you've decided on what your consequence is going to be, it might be the cost of the mistreatment will have to be reimbursed, or it might be a set fee like this salon did. And interestingly enough, that $25, even though it might have been a $50 or a $70 or a $100 appointment that was missed, that $25 was actually enough for her to reduce her no-shows down to just next to nothing. So when you decide what you're going to make as your consequence, you've got to make sure that you tell your clients about it. You know, you can't ask clients who haven't been told about your new rule, you know, oh, well, you're going to have to give me $25. And so what I suggest is that you add it to your website, you add it to your business cards, you add it to your service menus, you put a sign up at reception, you send a nice little notice out via SMS or email to your clients. You don't want to give anybody the opportunity to say to you, oh, but I didn't know, you didn't tell me. So you've got to tell them everywhere. Put it in your, you know, put it in your salon etiquette and policy section on your service menu. Verbally tell clients that, you know, there's been a change of policy in the salon. You don't have to sound like, you know, a bully or a Nazi. Word it nicely, and you know, but let clients know that from here on in there will be a consequence to late cancellation or no shows. Now, it's always at your discretion as to whether or not you charge the client for that no-show. Sometimes there's a really valid reason why a client didn't turn up for their appointment. They could have had a sick child, there could have been an accident, they could have been called into work at the last minute, things that were totally out of their control. And you and I both know this is life. And, you know, you might want to be a little bit more lenient with those people, and you might want to say to them, look, I can see that this was out of your control, I'll waive it. If you've noticed that a client's using these same excuses over and over and over again, then you know then they're BSing you a little bit, so you might want to take action at that point there. If a client feels that they're going to have to pay you for a missed appointment, chances are they won't come back. You have to be happy for that to happen in your own mind, because you're actually not losing a valuable client. If you've got a client who's booking appointments and not turning up, then those people are a liability to your business. They're not an asset to your business. They're not contributing to your profitability. And in a way, you've got to be prepared to say, sayonara, nice knowing you, but go and be somebody else's problem, because I want clients who are going to turn up to their appointments and be respectful of my salon. If a client doesn't turn up, don't ignore it, because then the client in their own mind thinks, well, they didn't even notice that I didn't turn up. They didn't even notice, so I can do it again. No big deal. Always make sure you pick up the phone, try to phone them, or send them a message, at least a text message, because text messages get an enormous amount of opens compared to an email. Emails get about 18-20% open rate. Text messages are up over 90%, so use texting for this one. If you can't talk to them personally, let them know that you noticed that they didn't turn up, so that that's the consequence. Oh, if I don't turn up, you know, the salon's going to phone me. They're going to say, oh, you know, you didn't turn up for your appointment. So always follow it up with a phone call, let them know that you noticed that they didn't turn up, and hear what they've got to say about why, and then you can decide from there whether there's going to be a fee attached to that or whether you're going to waive that fee for that particular occasion. It's up to you to do that. So no-shows are an expense to your business. They're a very high expense to your business. They're frustrating, they're stressful, and they're not necessary. So if you implement some of these easy strategies that I've talked about today, having a consequence, educating your clients about no-shows, not stepping over the line when it comes to getting too personally friendly with clients, all of these things will contribute to minimising your no-shows. And hopefully you will have lovely, fully booked appointment columns all day, every day, with people turning up on time for their appointments. So that's it for today. If you've got any questions, please feel free to leave a comment below or ask a question, and let me know how you go with minimising your no-shows. And one more thing before I go. I've noticed that some clients today, if you have a really severe problem with no-shows, your other option might also be to start requesting deposits. Maybe not from all the clients, but from clients who've been, regular no-showers, and because a 50% non-refundable deposit or even a full prepayment in advance for a period of time, you can bet your bottom dollar they won't forget that appointment if they've already put the money down and can't get it back. So there's just another little tip for you as well. I can't say that's my first go-to. Some coaches do think that you should do that for everyone. I personally have researched it and talked to a lot of people about how they'd feel about that if their salon introduced that, and the response has been reasonably negative. So I personally would save that strategy for your naughty clients who aren't doing the right thing. So have a great day, have a great week. If you've got any questions, leave a comment below. Remember, we're going to do this each Monday around the 10:30 mark, so be sure to let me know if you've got any topics you'd like me to cover, and I'll see you then. Bye.